Almighty God, strengthen and direct. We pray the will of all whose work it is to write what many read, and to speak where many listen. May we be bold to confront evil and injustice, understanding and compassionate of human weakness, rejecting alike the half truth which deceives and the slanted word which corrupts. Rising beyond limitations, the UCJUNN story.
When we talk about UCJUNN, our mind go down memory lane to its birth. We can't talk about this prestigious organization without giving an accolade to the pioneer. Now, let's start from the genesis.
UCJUNN is a sister organization to all UCJ in other higher institutions in Nigeria, like the most famous and oldest, UCJ Ibadan. Prior to its birth, there were students who had interest in journalism and were reporting news stories on their own. Amongst one of these students was Blessing Udeobasi, a 400 level student of mass communication as at the time. She was among the shortlisted candidates for the Campus Journalism Award conducted in Abuja.
My name is Blessing Delba. Yes. A pioneer of the Union of Campus Journalists in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Can you relate your experiences while serving, relating it to the recent changes you've seen in the new administration? Okay. First of all, let me start with how I started with the union before talking about how like experience when I started. So the union started after I got back from Abuja for the Campus Journalism Awards. That was 2020. I was selected for the award then in the news reporter category. And when I got to Abuja, I noticed that most of the other campus journalists, who were 15, 30 campus journalists, but 15 were to get the award. So out of the 30, I was the only campus journalist from the southeast as a whole. Yeah, from the southeast. And most of them were kind of familiar with each other. They were gisting, they were laughing, but I was more like let's say the square peg in the round hole. I was on my own. I just had to start trying to get familiar with most of them. And then after the award, one of them met me and was like, how is UCJ in your school? I was like, what? What's UCJ? Because for me, I've never heard of it as at that time. So I was like, what's UCJ? She was not like, UCJ, campus journalist. Which means before then, there was nothing like UCJ in UNN. I've not heard of any at all. So because I was the only person from Southeast there, and when they asked me that question, I didn't know what it was like. I was clueless. So I was more determined. I was like, if these people are they know each other, which means they've been coming for events like this prior to that moment. This is really a good idea. A lot of students are in school, and at that time there was nothing like records online. Yeah, they've not set up the record online then. The departmental newspaper. Yeah, the departmental newspaper was there. That was every year. Okay. But now there's record online, the websites. Yes. Here. But as at that time, there was nothing like record online. So there was no way for students to practice what they are taught in class and all of that. I was just lucky because there was, let's say, I had mentors, people that were already practicing in the field, and then people that were in the higher class. So they more like mentored me to go into campus journalism, and that was how I was able to get the byline that qualified me for the award. So I was kind of determined to bring it back to the east because none of the students there were from the southeast. Although there were Igbos, but the only Igbo there, Uche, was Unica, University of Calabar. So none of them came from the southeast. So I met with the then president and the vice president, Tafilat, and they told me that it's something I can set up, that it's very easy to register with the national body. I also met another guy, Awal, who also pioneered the union in his own campus. I've forgotten the name of his school, but it's one of those northern universities, I think Gombe State. So Awal put me through how he brought it to his school, and I worked with him. I got to register with the national body. And at that time, I said 2020, so school was not in session at that time. So throughout that December, the award ceremony held in December. Throughout that December, I was trying to strategize, brainstorm. How do I do this? How do I do this? So I started by creating a group chat. If you notice, our current group chat was created on first, I think 6th of January, 2021.
So I was still in the village at that time. So I just created the group, brought, did a kind of broadcast message and sent to different group chats that I belonged to, and most people indicated interest. And when school resumed that January, that was when we started. And yes, now I would come back to your question,
Yeah.
how to relate it at that time and what it is
So the
now.
current administration.
Yes. So at that time, it was honestly, I didn't know that it would get to this point because it was something I was kind of doing alone. Yeah, every Saturday we used to have our meetings every Saturday. We would come here. Most people, when you are starting something new, people they don't believe in it
Yeah.
like that.
Don't know the
Yeah,
relevance.
exactly, and they've not seen anything like that before. And we used to have our meetings in final year class because I was final year then. So we come for meetings. You just most times you see 3 persons, most times you see 5 persons. Whereas in the group chat there were up to 20 persons. But the physical meetings, most people will not show up. So what I did was I was more interested in getting them to get byline. So we started from learning how to write straight news stories, how to write features and all of that. And that was what we did at that time. Coming down to what it is now, actually I just got back from Nsukka recently and I'm amazed
Wow.
with what I'm seeing so far. So it has grown beyond what I expected. So I think the current administration, they are doing well. The people that handed over to them, they did their part and all of that. I also did my part, even though my part was very little. And I would say it was the most difficult, but it's fine. And I'm really glad with what I'm seeing right now. So, yeah.
Okay, talking about you being setting up the union in uni, did you kind of receive any assistance from your fellow students or lecturers? Or were you just the only person that did this in this school? Related Nigerian school?
Yes. As at that time, when we resumed school, when we started having the class, I went to student affairs to get you registered at the student affairs department, and they said I will have to get a lot of things, a mentor, staff advice and things like that. But that was not my main purpose at that time. My main purpose was to get students to start writing, and that was why I just had to register at the national body first and left the union, like the one at student affairs,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to start asking students, bring money, let's go and register and all of that. It will scare people away.
Yeah.
People are just trying to come out of their shells and you're
Yeah.
telling them to bring money. So I just had to pen that one for that time. Coming to whether I did it alone, I would say I kind of did it alone, but I got a little help because when we started, that was when I got to know that some other person tried to start it before me. I think one of them was in education department, and
Education
the other,
department.
yes, and the
Yeah.
other was in history.
Wow.
Victor and Emmanuel. They tried. I don't know. Emmanuel was still in school at that time, but Victor had already graduated. So from what they said, I'm not sure they were able to do it, and it died off after they left, after Victor left, because I didn't meet any union. So it was someone that just told me, yes, someone tried to do this before now. So I now met them and was like, how did it go? I just said, yeah, yeah, yeah. It didn't work out, and basically it was dead at that point. So I had to start from scratch. We had to draft the constitution, and I personally designed the logo we're using now. And the only thing I would say those guys handed over was the Facebook group. Yes, because they created the Facebook group, and if you go back and check what we had prior to that 2021, you would see the kind of things they were posting there. I think the guy had a blog and he used to share stories from his blog there. They handed over they added it to Facebook group, and that was where we started. That was the only thing they handed over. Yes. But meeting is a working union of students. I didn't meet that. We started from scratch and we had students from both science, from everywhere coming, coming to Jackson Building to study. I think uh, they kind of offer some advice why their own did not stand and all of that. And I think I got a thing or two from there. Yes. So that's the help I would say I got. And then some other students that were joining something that you've not seen before, it takes a lot of courage. So I would really appreciate students that will meet them.
What's that thing you feel should be done by the union to continue its growth in you? Like, what's that thing you feel that should be done by the current executives of UCG at the moment to continue its growth?
I would say capacity development training. That should be one. My like I would say I'm kind of passing down my mantra there. Yeah, my mantra then was capacity development. Let this then get finance. And this is well from the fact that in Nigeria today, we know the current situation of the country. By the time you are graduating, they will tell you, you are trying to apply for jobs and you're seeing 2 years experience, 3 years experience, you're just getting out of school. So, how do you get the experience without working? And how do you start working without experience? So that's the dilemma we are finding ourselves in this country. And for us to be kind of proactive, student bodies like this is a kind of saving those for most students of mass communication. I don't know about other departments. They must surely have a way of getting the experience while in school. So that is actually the main thing. Try to get students to get that experience so that by the time they are leaving school, they already have something. So let me just kind of boost the bubbles, like in media field as a whole. If you want to go into media, nobody cares about your certificates. That's the fact. Nobody cares about what you do. Whether you had third class, second class, first class, even though it's good,
Even first class.
even first class, even though it's good, yeah, it's very nice to have first class. But nobody cares about it. What they care about is what do you have, your portfolio. And that's the thing. So if you are getting out of school and you're working to a media organization, please, I want to do this, employ me. They'll ask you, have you done this before? That's the first thing. They don't care whether you are just leaving school. They'll ask you, have you done this before? If you've not done it before, they won't trust you like that. Even if they will trust you, you have to work hard for it. Like maybe they'll give you an internship position and you have to start earning from very little. But if you are leaving school and you have that kind of experience, once you are getting out, you don't even need. I know people, like a lot of people that I met during that campus journalism awards from the north. Most of them, even while they were still students, they were writing for international media organizations. I know someone, I think Jamil, who was writing for Al Jazeera at the time. And Al Jazeera, for a story, I don't want to expose it here, but a story, you know how much you're earning. Not
While on campus.
while on campus.
Wow.
You can search for Awal. Awal is still a student, I think, but he has bylines in many international media outlets. And it's not small money. 1,000 word article, you know how much it is. Forget that you're writing it here for free. Yeah, you should write it for free here because you're setting yourself up for better things ahead. Yeah, but if you don't want to do it for free here, by the time you graduate and you stop getting money from your parents, you still do it for free. Because for someone to trust you to give you their platform when you do not have the experience, you have to start from doing it for free. So why not do it for free while you are still in school and your parents are still sustaining you? So that by the time you leave school, you'll be better prepared and positioned to get better opportunities. And they should focus on capacity development. Try to bring people that will train students on how to write, how to podcast. I know that CNN, we are more focused in writing and all of that, but we can still go into podcasting. We can get people that are into established podcasters to come and teach. And we have Ryan Hector, can go there. Even if they don't pay you, volunteer. Once you volunteer, they wouldn't like to turn you down because they are not paying you. Yeah, and that is where you have the biggest shot to show yourself. Get that byline. If whatever you do, just keep it recorded. If it's on your Google Drive, just save it there because you're going to need it in future. So capacity development, train yourself, get as much byline as you can, as long as you are planning to go into media. Except maybe your father has a job for you somewhere, you don't need any experiences or you don't need to go into broadcasting, fine. Whatever it is you want to go into, try and start from school to establish yourself.
Okay, guys, you've heard what she said. So basically, mass communication is a course that goes beyond the four walls of the classroom. So as students of mass communication, we have to think out of the box and do something for the future. Like we have to practice, because they say practice makes perfect.
Moving away from the interview, just as she said, the union, however, faced several hitches as a result of the ASU strike slash COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. There was no registered members and passing over leadership was a huge challenge. After the first election conducted by Blessing Uteobrasi, which brought Mr. Madu Daniel into assuming the office of the first officially elected president of the union, there haven't been any other election. The second president, Ms. Patience Leonard, and her vice, Ms. Chinaloromogo Eze, assumed office by appointment. During the tenure of Ms. Leonard, she was able to create a group, the UCJUNN Chamber, which had people register under the organization. The revival of this great union began again with the current administration of Ms. Ndidiamaka Ede. She was also appointed after Ms. Leonard's administration on Saturday, 30th September 2023, along 6 other executives. She started with creating a theme for her administration as a president, which is the value-driven administration. This was really her drive as the union saw a positive change in all areas. Some of her achievements include opening an official bank account for the union, creation of a website for the union, organizing training sessions and creating of opportunities for the members, successful grooming of the members in writing, revival of the union's social media handles, successful hosting of a broadcast challenge for those interested in broadcasting, sponsorship from different individuals and brands, official appointment of patron and matron, ID cards were issued to all members. She ensured active participation of the members as the members were actively involved in the union's activity. Creation of an editorial board for the union, publicized the union within and outside campus, ensured proper documentation of the union's activities during her administration, and lastly, organization of an official election for the first time in its history. For every prize, there is a prize. She encountered some challenges, which are getting new members was difficult, getting sponsors for the union's events was hard, getting funds was also a problem. Here are the testimonies of some members.
My name is Okoye Ifeanyi.
As a member of the union, how has the union been of benefit to you?
Union of Campus Journalists, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, to be precise, has been of great benefit to me, as a registered member. When I got admission to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, as a mass communication student, I was wondering, is there actually anything like UCJ, like in school? Because mass communication is a course of study that needs practice. So I was so passionate about writing. I was enthusiastic about writing. So there was this lady who happens to be our outgoing president now. She came to our class and made mention of inviting more members to Union of Campus Journalists, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So at that point in time, I felt elated that, so this union actually exists in UNN. And I immediately grasped the opportunity. And I can confidently say that for the past few months, I've improved significantly in writing, journalistic writing, because that's where I'm perfect. Recently, as a registered member, I won an award, Crisp NG Prize for Journalism.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was a contest for UCJ members in UNN.
So this contest was in UNN.
Yeah, it was in UNN, a contest by UCJ members, solely by UCJ members. That was during exam time. I was in class when I saw the flyer for the contest on our WhatsApp group. So I was like, am I really going to do this? So I was actually on another contest the moment when the flyer dropped. Yeah. So I was like, okay, if the other one didn't come, at least this one, which is based on journalism, should come. I gave in my best. I wrote a story, cohabitation on campus. So, and Mr. Ojo Atakole, who happens to be the CEO of Crisp NG, called me and was like, yeah, your story is good, your story is okay, but you really need to give this story a human angle. I was like, human angle? Which one is human angle again? And that was when I realized the stress journalists go through. Talk more of being a campus journalist, where you have to combine your studies with journalism per se. And so I said, okay, I took the stress. I was asking myself, how am I going to get get the reception? How am I going to talk to students? And the school was literally almost empty. So I said, okay, since it's for the prize, we are going for the prize. It's worth it. Let me take the stress. I went from class to class. I was interviewing students based on what they feel to get their pulse on the issues for habitation. I also interviewed couple of lecturers. I gave my all on the story. At the end, it came out well. Well, I would even call that a Pyrrhic victory, because the victory was, much effort were invested on that contest alone. So I would call that a Pyrrhic victory. My advice to UCJ members is they should keep writing. They should keep practicing. They should keep writing. So I'm glad that this award came in my second year. At least it has more or less boosted my CV. I'm going to add that to the CV. So because what potential employers are looking for is what you did while in school. They're not looking for your grades. I'm very happy and I commend Mr. Ojo Adakwele for that. It has even given me the motivation to do more. Yeah. So I commend Mr. Ojo for that and it should continue. It should continue.
So
Yeah.
your advice to UCJ members is they should write more.
They should keep writing.
They should keep
practicing.
They should keep practicing.
Yeah, journalism is all about practice.
Practice. Okay. Thank you very much. As a registered member who witnessed the past administration, can you tell us the changes you find in this administration?
There's been a lot of changes that we cannot even start comparing the two administrations. On the Diamaka's administration, it's just been wonderful. So much. It just brought innovation into the organization because, and that is what we, actually want to see in every new administration, that there should be a change or a continuity of the past administration. And the Diamaka has done a wonderful work in her administration. Kudos to her. There are so many things that she has done. One of the significant things she has done is that she improved the number of the members of UCJ. Currently, we have over 80 active UCJ members, and we also have a website which is going to be launched during the induction ceremony. So she has done a lot.
That's beautiful. What can you say UCJ UNA has done for you in a particular area of life or any area of life?
Okay, coming into UCJ, I also kind of attributed to Ndidiamaka. Ndidiamaka was more like the person that, brought me in, and that's one of her qualities. She's the type that likes, pushing people to become the best. So she brought me into the organization, and honestly, I improved in my writing skills. I was able to, write in so many newspapers. I've written in Prime Business. So I have a lot of violence. And that's just amazing. She has improved. Being a registered member of BCJ, I've been able to improve in my writing skills and also in broadcasting as well. And honestly, I can say that in the Yamaka administration, again, is one of the best administrations so far UCJ has ever had. And Yamaka is someone who is passion driven and visionary. So that's what I can say for now.
So basically, what you're trying to tell us now is that in the Amaka's administration has been one of the best we have noticed in this UCJ,
Of course,
this union. So what would you like to say to incoming UCJ members, people who want to become part of this beautiful union?
Okay, for those that are already active members, I would just say that they should remain in this organization. They have a lot to explore, they have a lot to learn. And for the incoming, maybe someone is still considering coming, you don't even need to consider. You just have to make up your mind and be part of this organization, because you don't need to leave this school and not be part of any of it, especially if you have interest in writing and broadcasting. UCJ is a platform that will help you hone your skills. So I encourage anyone, both active and incoming members of UCJ, that they should remain in this organization.
So thank you very much, Miss.
My name is Ezefich So. I'm very proud I'm a member of UCJ UNA because I learned a lot. UCJ UNA really improved my writing skills, and I'm proud I can write and I can also edit news.
I'm fire sketching. I'm a newly registered member of UCJ UNN. So how I got to know about UCJ UNN, I saw my classmates' writings, the podcast, the broadcast video. So I'm like, whoa, what an organization, something of that nature. So I decided to join to see if I can do something like that, if I'll be more advanced in my writing. So good. I think UCJ UNN is doing good and is doing great.
My name is Chijoki Marvelous. I am a member of UCJ UNN. I got to know UCJ UNN from my friends. I saw their write-ups and I was impressed. Then the first day I went for the meeting, I was like, okay, I love what they're saying here. Okay, I would like to register. And after registering, I've never regretted joining UCJ UNN. The best campus journalist.
As the president of the union who brought revival who brought significant changes to the union.
Okay.
What has been your achievement so far?
Okay. Okay. First of all, talking about significant changes have been there. Each administration has done absolutely well because it's from one administration that you now get to the other. Okay, that's by the way. Talking about achievements, one of the greatest achievements our vision has been making an impact. You understand? So it's what we agree, the executive agree, and we're working on that. That's what we worked on. And if for you to make impacts, we have to do some certain things. First of all, when I became the president, I was inaugurated on 30th of September 2023. And then we now think of making impact when you don't have members. So the first thing was to kind of get members to the union.
So you meant that before your administration, there were limited members?
Yes, we are about 15. Let's say 15 because
Wow.
plus the two past leaders then 15 members plus us, the executive. So my 15 minus the executive, you know that you don't have any people to make impact. So we started working on getting more members. And then what we reduce the price for registration, you understand? Because if the price is high, it's not like it was high, actually. But when you have targets, you have to look for strategy on how to achieve that. So we reduce the cost of registration and then that got us members and then the impact started. And one went into designing our websites. It was not that of kind of standard website. They make big, but then we started with what we have, and then what's it on that third. And then, though the biggest impact has not actually happened, it has happened in some way because members have started writing, went to partnership with the media, and then that we train our members in so many aspects, and there are so many persons have actually won awards too. And then if you ask these members, they will tell you that this thing has actually happened. But then our biggest vision now is to get our induction done because that is when you tell the members what the union is all about, the values, what campus journalism is, and the essence of people in their own life as an individuals, and then to the wider society.
As the president of UCJ, what opportunities did UCJ open you to?
UCJ had actually opened me to so many lots of opportunities. I started writing my second year. I am someone I'm passionate about broadcasting. Yeah, that is the area I was thinking I would even venture when I got admission. But then I found that at least I have to start somewhere. And after Dr. Marcel Mbama looked into our departments to start up journalism journalism.
Who is Dr. Marcel
Dr. Marcel Mbama is the editor and publisher of Prime Business Africa.
Okay.
And so I picked interest in writing. I knew I was going to start somewhere because I found out that writing in any aspect of mass communication and journalism, you have to write, even if you don't want to write. I mean, if you're a broadcaster and you want to prepare a script, someone will not do it for you. You have to do it yourself for writing. So I started writing my second year. The practice, the skill is the first now course, you understand? And then because I see now I write for many media. That is the first one. And then another one is trainings, opportunities, connections. I actually traveled to, in April, I traveled to Abuja for a training organized by Tiger Foundation, owned by the great investigative journalist Anas, you understand? So, and that particular training opened my eyes to so many things about journalism and then communications, the mass communication. So that is a great opportunity for me. And then aside that one, we've been partnering so far with so many media. We talk about Page NG, including even the Prime Business and so many other media. Those are the connections. The editors of those houses, they have to see what we are doing. I mean, the students they will write, send the story I did and then send to them. And as time goes on, we are connecting with these people. They are building relationships. The relationship is the most important thing you need. If you have the skill, the next thing is the connection and then that is the relationship. And I have already.
How has the journey been to the day you are given the mantle of leadership to lead this prestigious union?
Okay, I will say the journey has been slow. Yes, it's about what I love doing. The passion to see young people grow, to see them have that skill, to see them win awards and then do well outside there, you understand? Yeah. But all the same, it has not been easy because it's too, for you to manage any union, in fact, any project at all, you need resources. And not just human resources. Yes, you have the members now, but then it also requires
financial resources. And then that has been the greatest challenge. We would have even do more than what we've done, but then the resources is nowhere to be found because the only way we get this thing, this fund is just through the registration. Which is
Okay, finance is the major,
yes,
the major
it's that
problem.
really yes. The passion is the way you have the passion and you are determined to do it. Because thank God for my executives, we have the Vice President Emmanuel, success. They are all we have the passion. That's how God did it. But then the passion is there. We are determined and we are still determined. But then when you check, that's you don't see anything to hold on to. You understand? And it will now make us to start using our own resources, adding it like even my executive will use their own money and then they're doing these things to show you the level of passion we have for women campus and the rest of Nigerian suppliers. So that has been the greatest challenge. As I'm talking to though, God is still there and we are trying to use this upcoming events, the induction, we are going to do a launching and then handover and then so many activities are going to take place that day. CGI came in, they came to our rescue, though we have tried all this, we still need more, and we're hoping that something will still enter into the millions accounts. Yes, so that will happen, and then it will be a success. So, if I know it's going to happen, and I know God will do it, but that's what we summarize all our efforts and what we've done so far. We're starting from membership, creation of the website, broadcast challenge, partnerships, all of these things, they're all going to be make manifest a kind of be lively to some extent on that day of this occasion, like 29th of this month. Like I said earlier, that's not been easy, but passion can take any place, any person, anywhere.
We believe the path of UCJUNN will continue to shine brighter and brighter as we have all gathered to witness another journey of advancement on the greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, great lions and lionesses, it is our utmost delight to welcome you all to the induction ceremony and launching of website of this great union. Thank you.